Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Lissa Curtis, and I'm extremely honored to have been asked to speak a few words at tonight's celebration for the Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. I'm very humbled to be up here and share some of my story as a survivor and how much I personally have been helped by CCCNH. There are many stories of survivors, men, women, and children, and mine is just one. My first contact with CCCNH was the summer of 2015, almost 3 years ago. I walked into the shelter, absolutely terrified, with my mother right next to me. That first step across the door was very scary, as all the memories from my trauma came rushing into my mind and into my body. I was shaking on the inside and taking a step of faith, to which my attorney encouraged me to do. We were greeted warmly and ushered into a private room where we met with 2 trained advocates. My mother and I told them that back in March of 2014, almost a year and a half ago from that time, I was traveling to Sibiu, Romania, to compete in the World Ballet Competition. On the international flight from Boston, I was sexually assaulted and then was repeatedly raped and sexually assaulted in Romania for 10 days by my ballet coach and my director. I barely slept the whole trip, as he came into my hotel room each night with an extra key that he kept for himself. To make a very long and complicated story short, I had to convince my rapist that I was in love with him in order to earn his trust to let me return home. His intentions were to bring me into the mountains of Romania and probably never to return. I know that I'm very lucky to be alive today and back in the United States. Back in that room with the 2 advocates, I continued to tell them that the FBI told me to be silent for what was now almost a year and a half post-traumatic incident, and to live life as if nothing had happened to me. That year and a half is quite a blur for my family and I. I was in the hospital. I had developed mononucleosis from the trauma in Romania. I was bedridden for a while. My family was on suicide watch for me 24/7. I lost weight. I was scared out of my mind. My PTSD was so bad that no one could touch me, not even on my hand, without me bursting into hysterical, crying, screaming, and experiencing rolling vivid flashbacks across my brain. It would take me an hour at least to calm down if it happened on accident. I was still in this state when my attorney, former New Hampshire Attorney General Michael Delaney, encouraged me to reach out to CCCNH. A year and a half, to essentially gag a survivor into silence was absolutely ridiculous. No survivor should ever be told not to speak, and I was suffering from that. Attorney Delaney told me to go to Concord. He said they were the best crisis center to handle my complex situation, and he was not wrong. The first day with the 2 advocates, Jillian and Paula, who are both here tonight, was followed by bringing in and meeting Maureen McDonald and Lynn Chalette. I told them of my plan to file a civil suit on the same day as releasing my story to the media. I told everyone in that room that day that because the FBI had yet to do anything in almost 18 months, I needed to fight back. I needed to protect the next person from this evil man. I knew I could not live with myself if I did not do this. We talked through lots of details about this, but mostly I was warned at the huge backlash and personal suffering that I would go through with pursuing a civil suit and sharing my story public to the media. And they were also not wrong. I have experienced both. The team of advocates told me that no one in the state of New Hampshire has made it all the way through a completed civil suit against their perpetrator for sexual assault or rape. If I make it, and I'm 3.5 years in, I will be the first woman to do this. And I hope to inspire other people that it can be done. I would not still be alive today if it wasn't for CCCNH, as well as the unwavering support of my husband, Philip, and my parents, Don and Barb, who are right here in the front row. I love you guys. CCCNH has helped me obtain a protective order against my perpetrator and has helped me renew the order each time it's ready to expire. They have given me advice and aid in choosing from the 200+ journalists across the country who wanted to be the first person to interview me and report my story to the public. They have met with me and provided unbelievable encouragement to keep going, to keep living, and to not give up. CCCNH advocates have sat with me through different court proceedings, including my horrendous 3-day-long deposition interviews just this past fall, where the defense attorneys sat across from me and tried to wear me down, intimidate me, and scare me into giving up my fight for justice. They have helped me with paperwork on that end to receive some funding relief from the Victims' Compensation Program. They have answered too many emails to count with both simple and complicated questions. They have handed me many tissues, a lot. They have given me some of the best supportive hugs there is. They have told me that I have survived 100% of my worst days. Those were the words from Jillian. They have helped me navigate finding well-trained therapists in New Hampshire. They have continually supported me and my family in ways no one else could possibly do. But perhaps the most important, CCCNH has helped me find my voice. And I do not intend to ever give that up. So I'm going to end with that. Thank you, CCCNH, to all the board, the staff, the advocates. Thank you for all that we do. And tonight we celebrate helping many more people like myself. Thank you.